Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 11. I hope everybody's having a wonderful week. Looking forward to the weekend. It's getting a little more chilly, but it's that time of the year. And actually, considering for the October that we've had, we've gotten lucky. So, as I promised in the last episode, I was going to be talking about tinnitus. Now, this is more common than a lot of people know or think. A lot of people don't even know what tinnitus is. And when I was first diagnosed with it, I was doing a lot of reading, a lot of research on it, and I met a lot of people with it. And it was surprising, to tell you the truth. I'm sorry for the wind. It's really windy today. I hope it's not affecting you guys being able to hear me. So anyways, let's start with what is tinnitus. Now, like I said, way back when I started Jog Talk with Patrick, it wasn't just going to be about insurance. It wasn't just going to be about investments. It's really going to be about anything and everything that people talk about or have questions about. And this, to me, is something important because the more people I had met over the years with this and how it really affects people's lives, and it did affect me for quite a few months. It put me in a very dark place. So yeah, that's why I'm going to talk about it today and talk about what I did and what helped me. Now, just to give you a heads up, stay tuned next week. I have a huge announcement to make. It's actually probably going to be pretty shocking to a few people, but it's all good news. It's amazing news. And anyways, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll let that ponder, and I'll let you guys look forward to that. Anyways, so tinnitus. For those of you who don't know what tinnitus is ringing of the ears. Now, if you've ever been in a loud place, concert, construction area, just a loud noise that you were close to, or you hit your head hard and you get that ringing, that wee, that is tinnitus, and that's what I have. Now, tinnitus doesn't necessarily just that type of sound. It's several different sounds that you believe you hear, but it's not an actual sound. Now, the doctors a lot of times, unfortunately, can't do really anything about it because it's from unknown origins. Now, sometimes it's within the ear itself. Sometimes it could be in the brain, and they may be able to fix that. But a lot of times, like myself, it's really just, there's nothing to do. There's nothing to be fixed. For me, in the way that I got it was medicine-induced tinnitus. Now, I'm the type of person, I hate taking medication. Hate it. I don't even like taking aspirin. But this was a few years back. What happened was I got injured and I needed, the doctor prescribed me a painkiller, and it was pretty powerful, but I was in a lot of pain. So I took it, and for a few days, it was helping. But one morning, early morning, it was like 4 in the morning, just past 4 in the morning, I wake up and I'm hearing this ringing, this ee, almost like I hit my head. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what the heck is that? Did I hit my head on the nightstand? Like, what's going on? So anyways, the day went on, didn't get any better. And the day turned into a week, 2 weeks. Finally went to see the doctor because it wasn't going away. I was getting really depressed because, some people might find it funny. It's just a little bit of ringing. Yeah. Well, guess what? You have to think that you never have peace and quiet, ever. If you need peace and quiet and you go into a quiet room, you have a headache or whatnot, that's what you do to get that peace. But I can't do that to get peace, because if I go into quiet, the quieter the room is, the louder the tinnitus gets. It's just the way it is. Now, so I wasn't sleeping much, and that had a lot to do with with the stress and just thinking, the more you think about something, the worse something gets, or the louder the tinnitus was getting for me. So it was just horrible. So anyways, I went to see my doctor, then I went to see an ear specialist, and after a couple of months, I was finally diagnosed with tinnitus, and they said it may go away or maybe for life. Now, this is going back, I would say, probably about 4 years now. Still there. It's never gone away. I don't think it ever will, and that's just the way it is. So my biggest issue, once I started really reading up on it, part of chat groups with people that have had it, a lot of people have gone, got depressed and lost their jobs and all sorts of things because of this. And trust me, I can see how that can happen, because I was going through down that dark hole, because the stress of it always ringing, constantly there, never having any peace of quiet. It was really getting to me. And that's kind of why I want to talk about this today, is because I talk about it a lot, especially in group chats and stuff like that with people that have had it, because I've gotten over it. I'm living like I was living before I had tinnitus. And really, for me, what I finally came to understand, first thing is the acceptance. You have to accept it. If you can't accept it, it makes it very difficult to get over it, especially from the stress of it being there. Now, there was one gentleman that has had tinnitus at the time for over 10 years. And it's something that he told me that now I tell people, because it worked. It worked like magic. And really what that was that, think about the motor of your fridge. How often do you really notice the motor of your fridge running in the background, coming on, going off? For me, I never notice it. And most people, really, you don't notice it. It's because your brain essentially gets used to it being there. So it just kind of blocks it out. So I started thinking about it that way, that what? It's true. If I can mold my brain around, not noticing that noise, well, I'm going to start thinking about it that way with the tinnitus. So I started to, in essence, after I accepted having tinnitus and knowing that it was no longer going to go away, maybe it would, maybe it still will. But you know what? I've embraced it. It's there. It's part of me. And now, years later, unless I'm talking about it, I don't even notice it. Very rare that I'll notice it. And here's the funny thing. I have 2 big dogs. And sometimes they'll come upstairs and they'll sleep in the hallway upstairs. And anyways, Molly, our Rottweiler, she's a big girl, healthy but big, and she snores like there's an 18-wheeler coming through the house. So I can actually sleep with earplugs. Think about that. Even though I have all the ringing in the world, I can sleep with earplugs. And the tinnitus doesn't bother me. It's just the norm. It's just there. Now, there's a lot of other techniques, and if this is something that you're suffering with, and believe you me, I understand it. I know how hard it is, but I know how to get over it, to get past it, and to move on where life is great again. So if you are somebody that's dealing with this, please feel free to reach out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my phone number right above here. And actually, I'm going to put my phone number and email address, so that if you have any questions or you want to talk about it, you'll be able to text me directly. You'll be able to email me directly, and we can have a conversation, and hopefully I can give you some ideas, talk you through it, and get over that hump, because it's getting over that hump that's the hardest. But once you do, believe me, life is amazing. Just like before the tinnitus came, you're going on and you're going to be a happy person again. I promise. Anyways, everybody, thank you for joining in. I hope it was an interest to some of you. Some of you, I'm sure, were completely bored out of your minds. But anyways, thanks for sticking around. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if there's anything about anything, let me know. Shoot your questions. We can talk about more stuff. And, well, he's really starting his lawn early in the morning. His neighbors must love him. Anyways, yeah, so if there's anything, you have any questions about insurance, investments, everything else, reach out. You want me to talk about something, a subject, throw me a PM, throw me a text, throw me a call, whatever. And maybe it'll be one of the topics that I pick up for next week. And stay tuned for next week sometime. Huge news coming. Can't wait to announce it. Anyways, have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.